What's up, degenerates? Mad Merrigan here for Cold Bear Sports. Right, lads, one selection for tomorrow in Naas. Let's just recap another frustrating day. Kick off with the service. I went for a really strong bet on the horse in the bumper, Marty Beer in Chepstow. Well backed all day. We tipped it up at 11-8, and I really fancied it today. Unfortunately, he seemed to regress rather than progress from his last run, and he was ultimately well beaten. So disappointing. Then I had History of Fashion in Newcastle. I'm sorry I didn't listen to myself. Like, I explained exactly what had happened on last night's video. I knew he was too raw for a race like that. The more I watched his rerun last night, I knew that, he was vulnerable to falling or something like that. And I just, as I said in the video, the jockey just needed to take his time and get him jumping a few fences before he even thought about racing. And unfortunately, he was he had ants in his pants over the first 3 or 4 fences, and it just got a bit reckless, and then he ended up on seating. See, these types of horses, they're progressive, but when they're that unfurnished, you can't put them in the race until you jump 5 or 6 fences. You always see it with the likes of Derek O'Connor and Jamie Codd when they ride the maiden point-to-point winners. They always jump off halfway, and they jump 10 or 12 fences before they even start creeping into the race. And it's just, it's a tough race for a young, inexperienced horse. So when you're trying to hold a position, it forces you into making mistakes. And they were better off just jumping out last and popping a few fences and then start creeping, especially when you have a lightweight. But anyway, disappointing. It's my own fault. Shouldn't have tipped it up because I watched back its down mile run, and I knew that it would be vulnerable to falling, as I clearly said in last night's video. So I should have followed my knowledge, but I didn't. Then we had a horse run well in Lingfield, unfortunately, from what looked a very strong maiden. I finished third. See the Sunset. Ran okay, but definitely will win him Winter Maiden, but unfortunately, very good Charlie Appleby newcomer. And my first selection, Lady of the Night, ran very poor, lads. Very disappointed with her. I thought she'd run a big race today. Looks really well bred for chasing. Anyway, moving on to tomorrow. I have one selection for tomorrow. This is the last one for me. For a couple of days on YouTube. I'm interested in 2 horses Monday in Wolverhampton. I worry one of them might be short, but there's 2 horses that interest me for Wolverhampton Monday. I'll be looking at them for the service. And on Tuesday, I have a really solid bet on Tuesday for the service in Leicester. And as bad as this last few days has been, as frustrating as it is, we will be kicking off next month with a winner in Leicester on Tuesday. Fingers crossed the horse runs. I see he's entered. If he gets declared, we'll be collecting the bookies' money and putting a frustrating end to the month behind us. Right, Big King tomorrow in the 5 o'clock at Naas. So feel your pain today, lads. Frustrating day. 5 o'clock at Naas, Big King. A pint each way, 7-1. The stable is on fire. Lightly enough raced for an 8-year-old, not overly raced, and has form off these kind of marks. He's ran well. He finished second off 1:15 in Leicester to a horse called Dime, not the horse that's going for the Supreme now, but another one of them Dicerts. But he's rated 141 now, and I think this lad's 120 or 119. I think off 120 I'll give him a chance. It's interesting tomorrow. I see Pengrade is having a spin round to blow away the cobwebs before Cheltenham over 2 miles. So I keep an eye on him in the same race. I'm sure he'll be just schooling round, but he is a classy enough horse. He'll be heading on to take on Tiger Roll. Lads, I just want to mention today, credit where credit's due, Harry Cobden and Jack Tudor, 2 world-class rides today in Kempton. Harry Cobden on the horse in the Grade 2 Novice Chase, or was it a Grade 2? Anyway, the good Novice Chase. Brilliant ride, I thought, on the horse Peak Dane or whatever he's called, and Jack Tudor really looks, one of the very, very best up and coming jockeys. Very, very talented. Right, B King tomorrow, pint each way, 7-1. Quiet from me now here, focusing on good. I have a really nice selection Tuesday for the Patreon, and I've 2 Monday evening. I probably won't have nothing for the Patreon tomorrow, but Monday evening in Wolverhampton, late in the day, hoping for 2 nice selections, price regarding, depending on what they open in the market. But I really like a horse in the last race. Have him in my tracker. I think it's the last one. Anyway, it's late in the evening. So yeah, let's hope I can finish out the month. I'll have 2 selections on Monday. Let's hope I can finish out with a nice winner. And like I said, I have a really strong one for Tuesday in Leicester. And let's kick the cunts in the nuts, because it's been frustrating a few days. Right, thanks for all the support. Mad Merrigan for Cold Bear Sports.